Jade Cargill opened up about a pitch that she made to the WWE that got rejected. We're also going to see what's going on with MFT, Dominik Mysterio, and more. Starting things off with Jade Cargill and her reveal about a pitch she had made that didn't really end up going that far. Jade Cargill wanted to have a section of VIP individuals at ringside. Jade mentioned that these individuals could have been influencers and other different types of attractive and cool individuals, with the intention being that this ringside group of cool and attractive people could show new audiences that it's cool to watch wrestling and get new viewers to watch the program for the first time. Jade Cargill even mentioned the idea of the regular fan seats that surround the VIP section to go up in price as well, since, it'd be a privilege and a perk to sit next to this VIP section. And Jade Cargill pitched that whole entire idea and concept to WWE, but they turned it down for the time being. Jade mentioned how one of her main goals is to get fully new viewers invested in pro wrestling, and that was one of her main ideas to make that happen, but the idea wasn't accepted this time around. As far as what's happening next for Jade Cargill inside the ring, she should continue to be heavily featured. At this current point in time, this is being recorded before WrestleMania 42, so we don't know if she's going to be walking out of that match with Rhea Ripley with her title. But regardless, title or no title, Jade Cargill is a big star and a big name for the company, so we expect her to remain in a big role either way. Jade has her new faction surrounding her, and we also can't forget that there's a lot of potential major stories for her to get into during the back half of 2026 as well. The most talked about one being a feud with Bianca Belair. That has been a largely talked about dream feud for a very long time now. Last time we saw Bianca Belair, she was serving as the referee for Naomi versus Jade, and Bianca's character just seemed very disgusted by the levels of violence that both women were showing to each other. But at the time of that match, Jade Cargill was a babyface, so things weren't that extreme. But here in the current day, Jade Cargill has obviously fully lost her good morals and is now a monster-dominant heel. It's one of those stories that writes itself. Makes sense for Bianca Belair to return and then come right for Jade Cargill. This current version of Jade Cargill is most definitely not the same woman that Bianca teamed up with for most of 2024. So you figure Bianca Belair comes in and addresses Jade Cargill right away. Maybe the championship's involved, maybe it's not, but either way, that is a big money feud. And if the story's done right, it is a major program for the women's division, and even the entirety of WWE. Now, as far as the latest update with Bianca goes, things have still been radio silence. She had finger surgery a few months back, and has been sharing updates on her social media platforms about she has good physical therapy days, but then awful setback days as well. So it's been a big struggle for Bianca Belair, who's been dealing with that hand injury for a full year now, and hasn't had a match in a full year as well. Although things are still silent there does seem to be an overall belief that there is a chance that Bianca's going to return to the ring sometime in 2026. So, hopefully when that does happen, hopefully the Bianca versus Jade feud isn't that far behind. Solo, Sikoa, and MFT quietly have a handful of stories surrounding them right now, so let's take a quick look at those. Obviously, the number one thing they have going on right now is that lengthy feud with the Wyatt Six. These two groups have been going at it with each other since right around November of 2025, so the fans are definitely reaching that fatigue point with this feud and storyline. Everyone's just looking forward to it finally coming to a close. So the Wyatts and MFT have a massive 8-man tag match scheduled for April 17th. And so far, it appears that WWE's advertising that as the grand finale of the feud. And hopefully that's true. But even besides the situation with the Wyatts, MFT has several other things happening at the moment. Their second biggest story is most definitely the drama and conflict that's quickly developing between Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa. And that's interesting because that's a relationship and story that's 2 years in the making. When Solo Sikoa went rogue from Roman Reigns and the Bloodline in 2024, the very first move that he made as the new tribal chief was to bring in Tama Tonga. Solo brought Tama Tonga in to be his new right-hand man, to be the solid number 2 in Solo's new version of the family. And as Time went on, Solo would bring in Jacob and other members of the family as well. Now, of course, Jacob became the enforcer and really took all of the spotlight there before eventually breaking off and becoming his own star. But the person who still remains there by Solo's side is Tama Tonga. Outside of some time away for injury-related matters, Tama has been there consistently for Solo since being brought in by Solo in 2024. So much history there between the two of them. Solo's family has seen a lot of additions over the last few years, but Tama Tonga was that very first soldier that was brought in. But now, as of late, we've been seeing nothing but disconnection between Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. Now, Tama used to be the ultimate right-hand man and yes man. He never questioned anything that Solo told him to do, and he got it done right away. But now, we see Tama basically questioning all of Solo's decision-making and second-guessing all of it. Tama, he was the one who spoke up to Solo and told him that he was acting more and more like Roman Reigns. And Tama was also the one who told Solo that he was handling everything wrong with the Wyatt Six, and pretty much told Solo that it was dumb for them to hold on to the Wyatt's lantern. Can't forget that moment from a few weeks ago where Tama literally took the lantern from Solo's hands and then handed it over to Uncle Howdy himself. That's how fed up Tama has been. And he went ahead and did that against Solo's orders. And now, on the Raw before WrestleMania, Tama does not enter with the rest of MFT during their entrance, and instead pops up at ringside towards the end of the tag team match and ends up costing MFT the match. So tension's never been higher between Tama Tonga, Solo Sikoa, and the entire MFT faction. Tama's still a member, but he's definitely turning his back on the group more and more by the week. We've also seen that individuals like Nakamura that have been speaking to Tama backstage and influencing him to leave Solo's side. It's only a matter of time before Tama's relationship with Solo and the rest of MFT really implodes for good. So it looks like a Tama versus Solo feud is something we will most definitely see over the next few months. Some fans are even discussing the possibility of Tama even taking some of the MFT members with him over to his side, resulting in maybe another civil battle and divide amongst the family. All seems like options on the table. And of course, like we talked about earlier in the week, Smackdown recently teased something between Solo Sikoa and Royce Keys, so that may be another future story to dive into there. So, surprisingly, a lot of stories are surrounding MFT. We'll have to see what all of that story potential morphs into. So it's going on 4 years since Dominik Mysterio brutally betrayed his own father, Rey Mysterio, to align himself with the Judgment Day. And since that moment happened, it's been nothing but pure hatred between the father and son duo on WWE television. They've had a countless amount of interactions and matches over the last few years, and lots of memorable moments. As far as a potential on-screen reunion between Dominik and Rey, that was something that came up during an interview for Dominik during WrestleMania week. Dominik said that in order for that to have a real chance of happening, there would have to be a lot of things that need to be done on Rey's end. And Dominik just doesn't see Rey doing those things. And for that reason, Dominik doesn't believe it'll happen. Only way it will happen is if Rey does all those things that Dominik wants. So anyway, what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.